Callan, first
Yes.
of all, congratulations on landing the lead role in Hacker.
Thank you.
You're playing an ambitious teen who gets caught up with an online criminal organization. So
Yes.
tell us more about the film and the character you play.
So I play a character named Alex, and he's what I would call, I suppose, somewhat of an anarchist and a bit of an amoral personality. And for me, it's been great fun playing him. It's, we're not finished yet, but even every scene that I've done so far has just been a very unique and enjoyable scene for me because I'm quite used to playing fairly subdued, regular American kids, and so this time around I was able to play someone who is a bit more of a character, gave me a bit more opportunity to actually act, which is, I suppose, what you should be doing as an actor,
Oh, that's good. But what was it about the script that made you sign on for the film?
For me, it's the motivations and incentives to do projects are all very simple. It's usually just if I think the film is good, and if while reading the script I'm drawn in, and I feel as though I could bring something to the character that it means that it's worth my while and everybody else's while, then I see no reason in not, trying to give it a shot. If I audition for it and they like me for it, then I'm happy to do it.
That's great. What sort of preparation did you do for the film?
I did little to no preparation for it. I'm kind of more on the spontaneous side of things when it comes to doing film. So I tend to read the script, and if I feel like everything that I need is in the script and the character comes across as it's written, then I can just launch right into it and see what happens on the day and make it very spontaneous. But oftentimes you'll have projects where a director would rather that you, I suppose, bring yourself to the character and improvise more and do more in that sense. And so for those projects, it's important to read the script like 20 times. But this time I've read it a few times, and I've gone in and tried to contribute to the director's vision and to the writer's vision.
That's great. You've had the opportunity to work with stars like Samuel Jackson and Kingsley. So how's this experience working with them contributed to your acting career?
You never really know what you learn from someone. I feel like, especially when working with masters of the craft, I feel as though you learn more through osmosis. It's kind of a subconscious education, really, especially with people like Samuel Jackson and Sir Ben Kingsley. You work with them and you don't really feel as though you're picking anything up, but sure enough, later down the line, you'll do something that you wouldn't have done had you not worked with them. So we'll see.
That's good. You've worked on major motion pictures as well as indie films, so how different is each experience?
The difference between a major motion picture and an indie film is usually just the size. It's the scale of the film. One's very small, one's very large, and with the size comes a lot of different things as well. Like I just did a film in northern Maine last year where we had about 30 people on the crew, and we were all staying in bunk beds in a Christian Life Center, and it was very guerrilla shooting style. Everyone was a team, everyone was a family, really. Whereas on larger crews, you tend to not know everyone on the set. You do see them every day, but you never really talk to them, and so everyone can be quite alien, and it can just be a very strange atmosphere just because there's so many people involved. Whereas with a smaller film, everyone's kind of working toward the same goal. Yeah.
You've starred in a handful of films now, and I must say you have quite a fan base. So what's your most memorable encounter with a fan?
See, I don't really go out a lot in LA, so and I don't think most of my fans are actually from the Philippines, so I don't meet a lot of people, a lot of adoring fans in Los Angeles. But I did meet one who came all the way to an event to give me like a card and a beautiful handwritten letter and a bracelet, which I was wearing every day up until recently because I broke it accidentally. But it's nice little gestures like that really let you know how lucky you are. Yeah.
You've done a bunch of film now in the last 2 years alone, and you have so many coming up now. So what's next for you?
I've no idea. I'm just going to go back to LA and do auditions and things, But I have a film called Skateboarding with Saddam, which is going to shoot in Tel Aviv sometime next year, but I'm not sure when that is. It's not exactly set in stone. So basically, I'm going back to LA to do auditions and see if I can book another job. Yeah.
So you must be getting a couple of scripts. So then, how do you choose?
You do get a few scripts coming through you, but there's so many movies being made, and so many of them are terrible. At least by my opinion. So a lot of the ones that you get offered are kind of not really worth doing sometimes, because you can just do one movie, and if your face is out there and 20 people like you, someone will offer you a job, because there's movies being made all over the place. So it's not difficult to say no, I feel like, in this day and age, just because a lot of them could even be detrimental to your career if you chose to do them. And I have a great team of people who I'm very lucky to have, so there's lots of people who can help contribute to a decision that's made. But more often than not, it's not my choice. I'll do as many auditions as I can, and if one of the scripts that I liked happens to come through, then I'm going to do it.
That's great, that's a spirit.
Yeah.
But if you're
Please.
from Australia and you do an American accent.
Yes.
So it's perfectly, actually. So do you do any other accents?
Do I do any other accents? Yeah, I do. I do a few. To be fair though, the only ones that I would ask someone to pay me to do, the American, and I suppose maybe Irish and Scottish if I were pressed, because it's just most of the accents I do are more mocking. I wouldn't call them professional. But yeah, I'm affecting a very slight Canadian accent here, just in a few of the inflections. But for the most part, American is the one that I'm best at. Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to know. All right then.
Thank you.
So much.
Thanks very much.
Wishing you all the best for your fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much.